Allegations of officials misusing taxpayer money sparked a criminal investigation in a small Polk County town. Cullerton Investigates got a tip from concerned citizens after the Highway Patrol showed up at Humansville City Hall. Chief Investigative Reporter Lauren Varnes has been digging into the city's books.
Yeah, Bailey, financial reports I obtained show as much as $100,000 vanishing and then reappearing in city accounts. I called the mayor and city clerk for some answers, but when they didn't get back to me, I decided to take my questions directly to them.
The numbers and everything just weren't adding up.
On April 5th, the Highway Patrol opened an investigation looking into concerns about the city's finances. One area that people were concerned about was mileage reimbursements. Treasurer's reports show utility clerk Sophia Piper was reimbursed more than $1,500 for mileage between August of 2023 and March of 2024. I called City Hall to talk to Piper for an explanation about those reimbursements, but she didn't respond. So I took my questions to a recent city council meeting where concerned citizen Sarah Witham gave me the floor.
Just going to yield my time to Lauren. Lauren at caller 10.
Hi, I've met a lot of you in this room. For those of you who I haven't met, my name's Lauren. I'm an investigative reporter with Cullerton and Fox 49. I am working on a story about 2 state-level investigations into the city of Humansville. I see that, Sophia, you were reimbursed thousands of dollars in mileage and other reimbursements over the course of 8 or 9 months. I'm wondering if you could answer where you were driving that you racked up thousands of miles on the city's dime.
I go back and forth to the bank weekly, because we can only have a certain amount of money here in the building at a certain amount, for a certain period of time.
Who was writing the reimbursement mileage checks?
City clerk, not me. I don't do that.
And who was signing them?
Depending on who. Mayor Pro Tem, city clerk.
Records Cullerton Investigates obtained show Piper did sign at least one check written to herself for more than $300 in 2021. And Alderman Ashley Albright said mileage reimbursement checks were written for things other than mileage.
I received a check personally for a Christmas bonus, and it was documented as a mileage reimbursement that I turned over to the Highway Patrol.
Some aldermen want to invite the state to conduct an audit.
Our city should be held accountable. And that's all we want. We want accountability for our taxpayers.
But when the question of whether to invite the state to audit the city went to a vote on April 9th, it failed 3-2. Alderman Gary Shannon explained why he voted against it.
I found a couple line items that were not done correctly, but that's simple, adjustment. Like no $100,000 kind of items.
I showed Shannon $106,000 in federal ARPA funding listed in the city of Humansville's budget to end 2021, but the money seemingly disappears at the start of the new year.
It showed as $0 in the account the next day on January 1st, 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so
I've seen that.
Okay, that is not alarming to you?
Well, I can tell you what should have happened.
He claims though the money goes missing from the financial documents, it didn't actually leave the account. Treasurer's reports indicate some of the ARPA funding doesn't reappear in the books. The city's ARPA fund decreases almost $4,000 from November of 23 to January of this year. The mayor said the city earmarked that money for technology upgrades, but that wasn't documented in the November report, and December's treasurer's report was not available. I took years of financial statements and treasurer's reports to an expert. Kyle Gooden teaches finance at Missouri State University and has previous experience investigating fraud for the state auditor's office. Gooden says numbers not fluctuating from month to month can also be a red flag.
And if you look at all of these accounts, very few of them actually changed. So to me, that is somebody who thinks they're pulling the wool over somebody else's eyes.
And clearly, Lauren, you found discrepancies in some of these records, and others have too. Are some aldermen still pushing for a state audit?
Yes, 2 of the aldermen are adamant the state dig in further to the books. Our expert tells me that could cost the city $40,000 or more, but he thinks it's well worth it. It's also important to note the Missouri State Highway Patrol is merely investigating Humansville's finances at this point, has not labeled those budget discrepancies as fraudulent as of today. Now, there is another investigation happening in Humansville. The Secretary of State's office has recommended charges to the prosecutor in a separate election interference investigation related to last month's April election. Aldermen also tell me since I showed up at last week's city council meeting, the city clerk and the city's attorney have both resigned.
All right.